What's good, everybody? Happy Monday. How's it going today? Hope you had a good weekend. Well, if you didn't have a good weekend, then I'll bet you your week got off to a good start because the markets were strong today. Very, very strong start. We'll go over that in a second. Couple little side note things to get started with. Hey, number one, if you're on Instagram, join us tomorrow. Instagram Live, we're going to do that in the evening time. We're going to do Ask an Advisor. Just something I was going to record and post to Instagram, but then the young guys over here said, why don't you just do it live and see if anybody has any questions? I don't think a lot of people will show up, but if you do and you have a question that you'd like to have answered about investing, personal finance, budgeting, anything, your retirement, feel free to stop by. Check out our events page on jazzwealth.com to see not only that, but all of the other events that are coming up as well. We have actually a couple great classes actually coming up there. And then in a couple weeks, we're going to do the most detailed, best budgeting class you have ever seen, guaranteed the best one you have ever seen on a Saturday. We've got a lot of production stuff going on around here so that we can broadcast that live and make it more of an interactive sort of budgeting class. But if you want specific, actual things that you can do down to the number, not just like, oh, hey, I think you should, save a little, spend a little. If you want specific numbers, we're going to be doing that class in a couple Saturdays for our customers. And so that is going to be one awesome class. I mean, we're covering everything top to bottom. Exactly how much should you spend on a car so that you always end up ahead of the depreciation curve if you get a loan, right? Things like that. How long should the loan be for? What are you doing? If you're buying a house, exactly how to know exactly how much to budget for that house, down to the penny. So we don't mess around here. No general things that you normally see on YouTube. We are going to cover this like you have never seen a class cover before. Also, today's video went up about Wells Fargo. That's like the only company that I'll bash. There's a lot of people that I disagree with or whatever, but that's okay. You can disagree with people. Wells Fargo, I think, is a junk company at this point. I'm encouraging you to move your business accounts, your personal accounts, whatever it is that you have, move it away from them. If you have a retirement account and you move it to Jazz Wealth, I will pay whatever fee they charge you to transfer that account over here to Jazz Wealth. But if you don't move it here, that's cool. Just move it somewhere. Those guys are just ripping people off. It's unbelievable, the scandals that come out every day. So yeah, I've had enough of Wells Fargo. And nothing personal, really. It's just, don't rip people off. Okay, let's talk about the markets here. We're going to go over to the charts. You've got the Dow higher by 297 points today. The S&P higher by 20. The Nasdaq was higher by 39. What in the world happened if you follow the futures market? The very second the futures market opened yesterday at 6 Eastern time, they just started off higher. Well, there was news that the China trade war, this sort of battle going back and forth, has been put on hold and may not be as big a deal as promised. In reality, if you read the numbers or you look through what they're planning on doing, it's really just like a sort of a double balance sheet issue here. If you really want to geek out about it, there's really not anything great happening. It's just going to be positioned as if everything is okay. So with that in mind, what happened to stocks? If news comes out like this about China and you're following your investments, what should you expect, right? Where should you look in the market? Well, one of the things you should consider is immediately, whenever I hear news of China, I think tech stocks, okay? So let me find the screen, slide over here for you. There's the chart of the, that's actually Tesla. So here's the S&P 500. You can see a strong day today, obviously, having a good day or starts the week. But with news about China, the first thing I think is tech. Right? Tech stocks. We have a lot of tech companies that derive most of, if not more than half, which would be most of their sales from China. So one that was in the news today was Skyworks. I can't do it. Just, thank you. Finally can type it. No. Okay, I can't type Skyworks. S-W-K-S. Thank you. So that was one that was in the news. Skyworks itself gets 83% of its sales from China. If you go down and look at some of the big names, your Qualcomms, your Broadcom is AVGO now, all these stocks responding favorably towards this China news because a lot of their sales come from China. They want good relations between the U.S. and China. Micron Technologies, I believe, was your best performer. It was the best performer in the Nasdaq, up 4% today. And so because of this sort of news from China, these stocks did well, but some stocks actually came out and had better things to say on top of it. Micron said that based on this news, they're raising their guidance going forward. That means for next quarter, when they report their earnings, they're telling you, they basically said today, listen, we're going to beat Wall Street's expectations. Get ready for it. So here's a great example of a stock that's like, okay, we can deal with that. Like I said, other names, Broadcom, Skyworks, Micron, Qorvo, Texas Instruments, what else do you know? Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, you guys all know that. Intel, Xilinx, all these companies get so much of their business over there from China, or at least have a lot of sales in China. So very important that they do well going forward. With that in mind, what do we always say in here? If you want the markets to be higher, you need the semiconductors to be strong. You need those stocks to be strong on the day. If we look at the sector as a whole, very good day today. 1.5% gain on the day, and that held your markets up all day. Even about midday when the markets tried to sell off, it didn't matter. The semiconductors held everything up. It was a very obvious sort of pullback in the market that you could see was going to hold. Banking stocks, though, I'm not so sure about. I'm not loving the way the banks look here. If you look through a lot of the big name banks, they almost seem like they're rolling over a little bit. We'll see. They have been the quiet sector that not a lot of people have been talking about. So, I don't know. Let's take a look at Tesla. That was in the news today. Elon Musk tweeted out, this guy. Elon Musk tweeted out there's going to be a new Model 3 that'll have a dual motor option. And it should go as high as 155 miles an hour. But it's going to cost you, I think, almost double at $78,000 compared to what the lower price model he was going to release there. So, look, if you're an investor in Tesla, a company that's losing tons of money and has to raise billions of dollars very, very soon in order to keep going, you know, you're sort of relying on these tweets, right? All the short-term investors are responding to these great sort of dream-like tweets from Elon Musk. But the reality is the company's losing a lot of money, so be very, very careful there. You've got the stock today up about 3%. It did erase all of Friday, but you can see the general trend of that stock, right? Slowly trending down. Not looking too good. Let's move around here and take a look. Yeah, GE, there you go. GE in the news today. I think it was the highest price that it's been since February. $20 billion merger, actually, with another company, Wabtec. Where was it? Yeah, Wabtec, a rail equipment manufacturer. So the stock was higher by 2% on the day. Maybe a little bottom forming for those of you I know. I got a lot of comments on that. Some of you that have been trying to bet on the bottom of GE, your patience seems to be paying off if that's what you have done. If we take a look at oil, that's going to be in the news as well. Oil hit new highs today. That is on your screen there. That's the price of crude oil, actually. That hit new highs. Look, Venezuela is a real concern. If you follow what's going on over in Venezuela, I kind of think that's a real concern, and one of the reasons oil prices keep going higher, is because the output in Venezuela, the output of crude oil is just falling off a cliff, which means the U.S. is able to sort of step in and fill up that supply. The problem is we're not ready yet. We can't keep up with that and add that supply back to the market, and so because of that, oil has been creeping higher. It is still creeping higher, hitting new highs today. Anything oil or energy related has done really, really well recently. Some of our best performers in our customers' portfolio, so really, really great there. Also, let's see, in telecommunications land, you had AT&T, late day rally back up about 2% today, and Verizon, I just show on the screen, 1.5%. Stocks that have been chopping around just a little bit, but seem to be doing well. That's it. I mean, that's all I got for you. Just overall, not too bad. Great start to the week. If I don't know, if we could continue at half of this pace, it'd be a pretty good week. But I really have nothing else to offer. So with that in mind, be sure to check out our events page tomorrow on Instagram Live. Follow us at Jazz Wealth. If you're interested in asking a question, something you've been meaning to ask, you want a direct answer, I will be there online live. Check our events page to see all about that. And that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon.